this kind of athletic profile that they can bring in that even remotely resembles the kind of speed, athleticism, power, and productivity that this guy brings to the table. They need him on the field ASAP. Absolutely ASAP. And the fact that he's going to be coming off of the kind of injury he's coming off of, he's not going to be himself once he does come off of after that first month to 6 weeks of the season, is over. So I think this first half of the season for Green Bay is going to be very much so touch and go.
Yeah, first 3 out of 4 games for Green Bay are on the road. That includes against the Jets and the Atlanta Falcons. So that maybe will be good. They also play the Minnesota Vikings week 1, and that is where we go now because the Minnesota Vikings have returned to the field, and head coach Kevin O'Connell laid out the plan in terms of their quarterback play, saying Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy will essentially split first-team reps as they engage in the quarterback battle to be the week 1 starter against the Green Bay Packers. Here's KOC and how he's going to handle the 2 quarterbacks.
I feel very good about our plan. Both Kyler and JJ will take reps with the first team. They'll also take reps with the second group, and I think that gives different layers to the evaluation as well. We want an elevator at the quarterback position, and I know both guys will feel like they've got an opportunity to compete, and they both know, and everybody on our team knows we're going to do what's best to give us the best possible chance to be a really good football team this year.
Doggy, do you agree or disagree with the way KOC is handling the 2 quarterbacks?
I can understand why he's doing it. He wants to give Murray a chance, but they're in trouble at this position. I didn't like McCarthy anyway, drafting him out of Michigan. He hadn't thrown a lot of balls at Michigan. I thought that was a little risky. He rescued Darnold, then let him go, and then Darnold wins a Super Bowl. And now by bringing Murray in, he's telling you they're not so sure about McCarthy. Because if he loved McCarthy, why bring Murray in, who's been a starting quarterback and been a playoff quarterback in the past? Now, I don't like Murray. Arizona gave up on him. They went to Brissett. To me, that's a bad sign. I'm not a big fan. I know Lewis might differ. We'll give him a chance here in 1 sec. But I think at the end of the day, because he was a number 1 pick, injured a lot, even last year, I think they will start the season with him to see if they have their answer at the position. But they're not going to blow a season because he's finding himself. So as a result, you get a short leash. He doesn't get the job done. Then Murray's the quarterback. That's the way I look at it in Minnesota.
Yeah, look, I think we all know there's been enough of a history at this position that we can study in terms of us looking at how situations really determine success, failure for quarterbacks, as much as their own individual skill sets, mental aptitude, their own approach to the football game. I think Minnesota is a place that is going to jive very well with Kyler Murray. I think in the end, these reps that right now are being split between one day or one practice you're with the 1s and next you're with the 2s. We want to see if you can elevate the 2s. We want to see if you can take the 1s to a higher level. That's him saying that's a layer to the evaluation. I think you're going to see that has to get skewed at some point to where the guy who you believe is going to play gets more reps with the 1s to eventually he gets all the reps with the 1s. I think that's going to be Kyler Murray. I think Kevin wanted him for a reason. I just do. I think he believes that where they're at in their program build and what they have on the rest of their roster needs a quarterback of Kyler Murray's skill set and where he is at in his development. And Kevin thinks he can fix some of the things that went wrong for him in Arizona, and his system will bring out the best of him in a way very similar to what it did with Sam. And I think, and he has said that, he has spoken to the fact that, look, there are many people who don't believe that Kyler fits the type of offense that he wants to run, but he does. He does believe that. And I'll tell you this, coaches who want to see a player succeed and who are very much so invested in that player's success and that player having success will go the extra mile to make sure that player is successful. Kevin's going to go the extra mile to make sure Kyler Murray is successful. That doesn't mean he doesn't want J.J. McCarthy to eventually become worthy of being a top 10 selection. I just don't think that that's going to happen for J.J. in Minnesota, and I'm still a believer in him. I still am. But I think when you listen to how Justin Jefferson has talked about what he looks for out of that quarterback position, what the rest of the team is talking about as far as what they saw where J.J. is at in his program build, and then they look at the rest of the guys on this roster and they're going, hey, man, we almost still made the playoffs, and we were still right there with just abysmal quarterback play last year. Kevin knows he can't run it back with taking a chance on, well, maybe JJ's going to be good, maybe he's going to develop, as opposed to a guy here who has shown, Kyler Murray has shown he can play elite level quarterback. Elite. It's as far as evening it out and making sure it's something that's consistent over 17 weeks that can get you into the playoffs and maybe be a Super Bowl contender. I would put my money on Kevin being able to get that out of him. I just would.
This is hard for me because I feel like last year with J.J. McCarthy's essentially his rookie season.
True.
Okay. And then you look at Kyler Murray, who missed 12 games last year. He's in a new offense. He's got new voices in his ear and a new environment. I don't know how he's going to adjust to that. And in a very tough division, right out of the gates, you got to play the Green Bay Packers. So this is like such a perplexing situation for me. I understand why Kevin O'Connell has decided to split first team reps, but like how, and you know better than me, how soon do you need to make a decision at quarterback because there's so much uncertainty between these two players?
Well, one, I think for them, they probably feel a sense of urgency, that is probably much more magnified than what we feel from as far as a sense of urgency from Minnesota. They know that they're right there in their division. They're right there with the ability to contend, given the firepower they have on defense, the firepower they have surrounding the quarterback. They just need a quarterback that can give them competent to above average level quarterback play. How soon do they need to figure this out? Look, I think as you move through training camp, look, it always feels like, well, it's still quite a ways until you wind up playing football games. That time goes quick. You don't really practice that much anymore in the NFL. You have one padded practice a day. I mean, the CBA has kind of like really taken care of players when you're talking about training camp practices. They got to find out now. And they got to find out soon. And then you've got to get that guy up to speed, get him on the same page with the people he's playing with, making sure that he's comfortable with the terminology, with that new voice in his ear. You kind of understand his rhythm. He understands your rhythm. Because what Minnesota is playing for is, NFC North supremacy. They're not playing for relevance. They need to win that division. Because as you said, there's a lot, the rest of the North is strong.
Yeah.
And quarterback play is kind of like really strong in that division. And Kevin's going, look, hey, man, I can't make the same mistake that we made with Sam.
Yeah.
I can't have that happen to me again. And you know what? Best case scenario for Minnesota, and Dan Graziano reported this out earlier this morning on First Take. On Get Up. The best case scenario would be for J.J. McCarthy to come in there and just blow everyone away and go, damn, we didn't expect that. Because then you've got your long-term answer, which is what they were projecting when they drafted him in the first place. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think this is going to be Kyler's team.
A little bit of a restart for both of them. Go ahead.
Well, the only thing I would say is if I'm if I'm the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy cannot beat out Kyler Murray, I made a mistake with the draft pick.
And you would, but in year two?
I can't draft a quarterback at 12th. Was he 12th, 13th pick, whatever it was?
He was 10th.
The 10th. I can't draft a quarterback with the 10th pick. And in his third year, albeit, as you said, injury first year. The third year, he was very spotty last year. He can't beat out Kyler Murray, who Arizona dumped to play Jacoby Brissett.
But but you know what, Doggy, I would just say this. I think that is shortchanging what Kyler Murray really is.
Well, we're going to find out.
Number one overall pick.
Okay, and I still think he can play at an elite level still. And look, Kevin O'Connell is banking on that. He's betting on that too. It'll be fun to watch it play out.
All right, I mentioned Kyler Murray was the number one